Hi, Buddhist.
Sometimes he does this.
We've been sitting over there over the way, and we've been watching him pace back and forth all morning.
Yeah, that's probably because he was excited about food. He just ate 5 pounds of frozen raw meat. So as you can imagine, he is quite satisfied. He's probably just going to hang out there until he pretty much digests.
Is he the one that just had the surgery?
No, actually, he's not.
Oh, okay.
You may have noticed his teeth, right?
Yeah.
That's just the way his teeth have grown in from when he was a puppy. So when he was a puppy and we rescued him, it just was a genetic defect that he developed.
Okay.
So we had to do some dental work when he was very young. So he'll always kind of have that snaggle tooth, that funny smile. Yeah, he looks pretty full.
Yeah. Now who's the other guy?
Now that's Sky, the one
Sky.
who's laying down.
That's
She's
Sky.
a wolf dog, whereas Bruce here is a wolf. Now we don't say for sure that he's purebred, however, like his brothers and sisters and like our Arctic wolves, who look very much like wolves and probably are, but do have a chance of some dog in them because they were all part of the pet industry.
Right.
So we rescued Brutus and all of his brothers and sisters, all Arctic timber mixes, from a breeder. And one of them turned out to be an ambassador, Forrest, his brother. His other brother is Dakota, and his
Dakota's the one that I sponsored.
Yeah, I hear you sponsor Dakota. Yeah, I'm his caretaker.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, so we'll probably go see him. He's right up there.
Okay.
So Brutus here has food aggression just like the rest of his brothers and sisters. So what we have to do is give him frozen food, and then feed Sky thawed food through the fence. That is our best way to make sure that he doesn't finish before she does and then steal her food.
Yeah.
So there are a few physical differences between wolf dog and wolf, but behaviorally they're still wild animals, both of them. Sky does have a much wider body. She's much more stout, wide, specifically in her rib and hip region. Whereas Brutus, and although he still has his winter coat on, but he does have a much leaner body overall, much more aerodynamic as opposed to dogs who have very different body types.
Okay.
She also has much shorter legs than Brutus. Brutus has much longer legs, much larger paws. However, but they both do have short round ears, just like wolves do, and they have flat tails. Another main difference is the eyes. Sky has dark brown eyes, which are typical of a dog. Wolves typically have lighter eyes, like Brutus here, like a yellow or a gold or an amber. Sometimes it can be a darker version, but not so dark that it's this chocolate
So that's
brown.
how you can tell the difference.
Yeah, it's mainly their eyes, the size of their paws, their tails, that kind of thing that we look for to differentiate wolf dogs and very high content like Brutus here. But these two were both raised from puppyhood by us. She is about 10 years old, he's about 5 or 6. So there is a bit of an age difference here, but they're both very social animals, and Sky has not slowed down over the years. She still acts like the dominant girl that she is. So this is still a pack, even though it's just 2 individuals. What it means is because there's just one male, one female, it's an alpha male and an alpha female situation.
Okay.
If we were to put 2 or 3 more animals in there, they would be subordinate animals, and they would amount to a lot more fighting and a lot more dominance. So these 3 guys, there's 2 boys here, and little Foxy is the one over there. They're called New Guinea singing dogs.
New Guineas. Okay.
So they're a little bit like dingoes of New Guinea.
Yeah.
They have a very similar heritage than the dingo in that they were once domestic breed dogs, probably with Asian origins, although we're not really sure. That over thousands of years have been feral for so long. They were brought to that island in New Guinea and left their people to become wild feral animals for thousands and thousands of years. So that means they are a lot more wild, have evolved to be very different from any other breed of dog, and they are the rarest, one of the rarest canines.
Beautiful.
They are unique then.
They are, yeah.
Huge.
This is them full grown. They don't get any bigger than this. The 2 boys are about 2, maybe 2 and a half. Foxy's about 1 or 2 years older than that. She's the only one that's very, very shy. We have 5 New Guineas. We have 3 here, and then 2 more that we'll take at the very end.
Okay.
Young Princess. And they all came from the same hoarder house out in Pennsylvania. So an Amish couple bought 2 breeding pairs and never stayed neutered. or vaccinated, and it amounted to somewhere in the 80s, 85, 86 of the rarest breed of dogs in the world in one place. So obviously that was a situation that, you know, they were
kind of good
being
news, bad
neglected.
news.
Yeah.
Way to play.
So we rescued these guys and brought them here, and they're walkable animals. They're very sweet little guys. Yeah, they're wonderful little kids, but they're very different from other dogs. Very, very different.
They're quite young, aren't
The
they?
forest pack.
Yeah, they're quite young. They're kind of in their young adult stage. So this enclosure is actually empty right now. The summer is mainly when we do a lot of concrete work and the building
Okay.
that we do to have enclosures.
Well, these are pretty good size. Pretty good size. Which wolves does Leighton have with him right now up in Santa Fe?
He has Zorro.
Okay.
He's a very high content timber wolf.
Yeah. He uses Zorro a lot.
Yeah, he does. He uses Zorro, he uses Flurry, his brother Storm, and Forest. So I think on the first day of the Mineral and Gem Show it was Flurry, and then it was Zorro and Storm. Alright, so these two kids here, I know about 15 minutes ago to a half hour ago, they were still munching on their food.
Yeah.
Some of our animals are a little bit picky about their food. Animals like Brutus will go through it as fast as possible. But some kids, like to take their time, let it fall a little bit, there's no rush at all. These two are siblings. They're not going to steal food from one another.
That's good.
Their entire lives together. So there's no threat from each other, so they're just, kind of chilling with their food back there.
Yeah. So how long have you been volunteering with the Santuary?
I've been here about a year and a half now, almost a year and a half.
You like it?
Yeah, I do. I actually was only meant to be here for 3 months, and then they offered me a position.
Kind of grew on you.
Yeah, and then they made me supervisor of the wolf kitchen, so I've been doing that ever since.
Awesome,
yeah.
Awesome.
So these two are very different here for a few reasons. Number one, they are purebred. They're actually tundra wolves. They are 100% purebred wolves. There's a darker colored animal, Navarre, the brother, and his sister Aquila is much lighter in coloring. However, their face, you can tell that they're siblings.
Right.
Is that typical for that breed to have a female a different color than the male?
It is actually. It's pretty common. The same way, like dogs, a litter of dogs, labs, for example, they can have a black, a brown, white.
Okay.
So it doesn't go with gender necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Just
no.
Genetics.
Just genes. Yeah. The black color, interestingly. In the wolf, the black phase timber wolf or the tundra wolf that has that black coloring like Navarre, originally gray wolves and tundra wolves could not actually carry that black gene. It came along after thousands of years of breeding with feral dogs in the wild. Just over time, a dog here and there gave them that variation, that black variation. So you can have quote-unquote purebred wolves out in the wild that are black or very black.
Dark coat,
Yeah, but somewhere along their line there was a dog.
Okay. Well, your manager said that when you come out to volunteer that you have to take a 2-week training program. What all does that 2-week training program consist of?
Well, it's mainly you don't really socialize with the animals until after those 2 weeks. So mainly it's learning medications, how to distribute those medications, doing rounds to make sure that the animals are okay, have water, etc. We do those at least 3 times a day, sometimes 4 in the summer when they splash in their water. So that's mainly what they learn first, and then they go through days where they actually study wolf behavior, and we go over it with them. Their body language, what to do, what not to do, until they finally are introduced to very low-maintenance animals. So what I mean by that is like the Romeo, the red fox, and the Guinea King dog.
Yeah, I see Romeo. I see Romeo's over here in this little pen over here.
Yep. He's kind of the grand finale of a horse. So he's kind of the end. But yeah, they go through stages. Like I've been here for a year and a half, and I have very high maintenance animals. But of course, I started out working with Romeo. So you just kind of build up to that level, depending on your personality and your energy. Yeah,
that's
cool.
That's
a lot of training. They're also trained on the wolf kitchen, so I'm the one training them on how to make the food, special feeding that we do.
Cool.
So these two were
also... Is that
where
medication comes in for some of them?
Yes.
With their meal?
It's actually not with their meals. It's in the morning. What we do at about, and we open, of course, at 11, but we, first thing in the morning, about 7 o'clock, we get up and we make, or one person gets up and makes what's called med balls, which are ground beef meatballs. And what we do is we put the medication or the supplement, whatever they need, in that meatball, and then distribute it right through the fence. So that way, they look forward to it every day. They have no idea, most of them, that there's medication or food in them.
No, that's good.
That's sometimes the only way to distribute it. If we were to put it in the meat,
someone else
it would
might
have to
get it.
dissolve. So, I don't know if Lucian is up and about. Lucian! Lucy!
They're all sleeping off.
They're all
breakfast.
sleeping off
yeah.
breakfast now.
Well, these guys got whole chickens today.
Oh,
So they got a very special treat.
Oh.
They love getting whole chickens, whole raw chickens. If we don't see these guys here, we can actually go behind this enclosure to see Ride and Axel. When we reach up there, and we'll be able to see them there pretty clearly, because I know exactly where they are. They're all the way in the back left, right behind that large mound of dirt.
Oh, okay.
So that's where they're just kind of laying down. I know that's
Catching
usually
the
where they
sun,
are.
huh?
That's their favorite spot.
So, I know in the wild they probably birds if they can catch them, but I always thought bird bones were bad for canines because they splinter, so.
Well, chicken is okay.
Oh, is that right?
Because it's much thicker.
Because they'll just chew them bones right
Yeah,
off.
they'll just chew it right up. There are some animals that eat really fast, that have a habit of eating really fast with them.
Before they chew it up.
They do not get whole chicken.
Yeah.
But that's only actually a few of them, and then there are, for example, powder packs that include the Dakota. They would all not finish at the same time, and Dakota would actually go around and steal
Everybody else's food.
So that's another reason why they don't get any salt. They always get frozen food. And then some animals would just swallow a whole chicken whole.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing. But usually these kids will actually take their time and, one piece at a time eat their whole chicken. So we'll just go behind this enclosure and when we do
Okay.